This is Black Ram 313 with a new series entitled Supreme Wisdom. A couple of disclaimers. Number one, this is not the supreme wisdom for anyone listening. This is not the supreme wisdom in which Elijah Muhammad put out during his time. This video and the subsequent videos coming after this has nothing to do with the Nation of Islam or the book, the teachings of Elijah Muhammad entitled The Supreme Wisdom. Number two, I am in no way implying that I have supreme wisdom. I like the title. However, I do have something to say and something to share. The supreme wisdom that I'm speaking of in the title of this video is the supreme wisdom of the ancient wisdom mentioned in the holy scriptures known to you as the Bible. And in such, since I'm saying so, those who are offended by anything biblical, this series is not for you. Now, I will not be exclusively talking about the Bible, but I will use excerpts and use passages from the Bible to express supreme wisdom. Again, my videos are not for everyone, but there are some who would like this content. And for those who do and will, stay tuned. And for those who like other things, stay tuned. I will be talking about other things, as this channel now will have a mixture of topics. Now moving right along. Supreme wisdom. I believe as a man, every man should possess and seek to possess a level of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And I can think of no greater wisdom than what is mentioned in the Holy Scriptures. So I'm going to be making points in this series and using scriptures to conclude these points. And these points, I believe, if you take heed and listen and apply, you will do well. For this is wisdom for every aspect of a man's life. And a man's chief function should be the acquisition in the application of wisdom and knowledge. And these are tenets of Ibn Moore. Supreme wisdom, number one. As a man, you should seek to master yourself. Strive for self-mastery. What do I mean by that? Your own self-discipline. Your own temperance, and self-control. Control yourself. If one cannot control himself, his actions, his behavior, his responses, then said man is not wise but foolish, and not strong in any shape or form but weak. So seek to master yourself. Master your own circumference, the circumference of your mind. How do you come whereby obtaining self-control and mastery of yourself? Well, you first must start with making the decision to exercise and have complete control of yourself. After you make the decision, you then must meditate on such decision by thinking about it, expressing the intent to control yourself, thinking about self-control, meditating. And what I mean by meditate, quiet time alone to think about the art of self-control. The art of self-control is something that you must internalize and saturate yourself by thinking about it. How can I control myself? And after making a decision, after thinking about it, meditating on it, oversaturation with the ideas of temperance and self-control, you must then practice self-control. And the great way to practice self-control is through fasting. The controlling of the appetite, your primary drive, your primary biological function is food and water. And if you can control your basic and fundamental drive of eating and drinking, primary meaning coming after breathing, food is the next motivation biologically. But if you can control your diet, control your appetite, then you're on your way to self-control of all sorts. And if you can control your appetite, you then can control your cravings and your appetite for the sexual. Myself, for an example, I typically eat one meal every 24 hours. A daily fast, if you will. Now, on occasion, I may allow myself to eat breakfast. But typically, as a rule, one meal every 24 hours. Now, I do have my addictions to certain pastries. And when my addiction gets to be too great, I reset by fasting. Do I accomplish this perfectly? No. However, that is my striving. My endeavor is to control my appetite. And if you can control your appetite, you can control other appetites, particularly the sexual. Because if you can't control your own sexual appetite, then whatever woman you may be dealing with, she has the control over you. And when she has control over you, when a woman has that control over you, when she has that control over you, she thereby can determine the rules or regulations in a relationship. I digress. Control yourself. Think about it. Practice it. Another example from my own life. I was driving the other day, and the guy kind of cut me off and threw his middle finger up at me. In times past, my reaction would have been to drive up beside the driver and also give him a piece of my mind. But what would that accomplish? Absolutely nothing. So when the gentleman made it obvious that he was upset with my driving and cut me off, I simply shrugged and thought about something else. Now, that's not something that happened overnight. I had to practice self-control. Practice not being emotional and speaking your whole mind. Practice not getting upset. Practice controlling your appetite. Practice. Now, what strength is it for a man at all times to be able to control his own behaviors, his impulses, and his anger? That is self-mastery. Controlling your anger, controlling your own temperament, conditioning yourself to respond only when you believe that it's rationally and logical to do so. You have a woman in your life not responding to her anger at you or her disappointment or disapproval at you. If you have a boss or a supervisor who you don't particularly get along with, not allowing that person now to make you act unseemly, to be able to control emotional outbursts and outpourings of emotion when it is not appropriate. There's a time, a place for everything. So the road of self-control is one in which every man should endeavor to walk upon. This is the way of Ibn Moore. strive for mastering yourself. And only then can you hope to master anything or anyone. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down without walls. Proverbs chapter 25, verse 28, King James Version. That is your supreme wisdom. Black Ram, out.